Hey everyone, I'm Shayna Black, and welcome to the show. Today, my guest is, I would say, survivor, advocate, just amazing human being, Laura Cowen. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Oh, I appreciate you having me on.
Of
This is an
course,
honor indeed.
of
Yes.
course. So, if you don't recognize the name, Laura's been the subject of a Lifetime movie, and a true Lifetime movie. Sometimes, Lifetime movies get to be a little bit over the top or they're fictionalized, but this was your story, right? And it's called
Right,
Girl in the Garage, correct?
right. Girl in the Garage, the Laura Cowen story.
That's right. It came out in January, but we just want to make sure that people still know about it, and especially because you're local here in Cleveland and because of what the subject is, we just want to make sure that people know about it and know how to get help and talk about the
Yeah,
situation a little bit. So,
definitely.
how did the movie come to be? Like, what was your
Well,
situation?
well, with this situation, make it real short because it's hard to put 4 years into a
Yeah,
few
absolutely.
minutes. But, went to California, I left here, went to California. I got married, wonderful husband. He was with the Nation of Islam. Um, yada yada to speed it up a little bit. We had two children together. He was really an advocate in the community. He was then, unbeknownst to me, I found out he was selling illegal firearms to the brothers out there
Mm.
in the community, and ATF picked him up. They said we're watching him for a while. They picked him up, and he served 5 years in federal time. So in the meantime, I was out there with two children, a business, didn't know what I was doing. Help, help, help. And I went to the mosque, and brother at the mosque referred me to one of my husband's friends, and that's how it all started. Boy, oh boy, met him and his family. We were really in dire straits at that time, trying to get money for legal fees, and it was terrible. But I ended up moving in with his family, and that's when the horror and the hell began. And
So, so if I could take this
boy,
step back, you went to the mosque. They
mm-hmm,
were giving you some help,
mm,
connected you with another person from the mosque,
yeah.
and the help wasn't the help that you actually needed. Is that
And
right?
what's that term? Everything that glitter
Yeah,
isn't
ain't
gold.
gold.
Ooh-wee, it could fool you. And it did. And
Okay.
sure enough, when I saw the signs and I knew I had to get out that situation, it was terrible. But that's when anyone in domestic violence would know once you try to leave, it's the most dangerous time. That's when a person they're losing their control, power and control. And they are subject to do anything at that point. And
Right.
sure enough, he snapped. He sure did. And he locked me and my children up in the garage for over 6 months so we couldn't
Wow.
escape.
Was
But
it
thank
when you tried to
God.
leave or when you started realizing like you hadn't made the plan, but you realized it was time to go, that
Oh,
things
yeah.
started getting escalating?
Yeah. When I tried to do a few escape plans and that failed, he
Okay.
knew that he didn't trust me anymore. And that's when he locked us up.
Okay.
And yeah, but thank God it was a blessing from a postal worker who I was able to slip a note to, who took it to authorities and got us help and got us out of there. So,
How,
I'm reducing this
no, no,
down. So,
absolutely. How old were
hmm
your children at the time? Because you said you had your children with
oh
you.
yeah, yeah. See, Muhammad was about, I want to say 5, and Miriam was about 2.5 or 3
Wow.
at that time going on, right? And then I was raped by him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Taslima was born
Oh,
right
wow.
there in that house. And I tell you, it almost reminds you a little bit. I know a lot of people don't remember
Hmm.
Amanda and
Hmm.
Michelle.
Hmm. Yep.
How Amanda went in alone, but she came out with Jocelyn.
Yep.
It just is incredible, incredible, incredible.
And you
So
said you moved in with his family, so there were other people in the house. It wasn't just you and your kids, correct?
it was his wife and 13 kids, his children. Yes. And then later on down the line, he added another young woman he knew who knew them way before I met them. And so they had a relationship a little bit. They known each other, and she moved, and she seemed to be in almost. It looked like he pick up people who are in dire straits. You know what I mean?
Right.
having hardships. Yeah, and you're vulnerable,
Yep.
and she was too at that moment, and she had two children. It was kind of ironic.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, and I wanted to tell her so bad, run. And he said the same words that he said to me. Hey, why don't you and your kids move in with us for a while until you get back on your
On your
feet?
feet. Right.
Oh,
I am so
mm.
sorry you went through that. So
I
now there's a
know.
movie about it though,
Yeah,
right?
sure
And it came
is.
out
Yeah.
in January. It's on
Hmm.
Lifetime. How
Yeah.
did the movie come to be? So you obviously got out of the
Hmm.
garage. You said the postal
Hmm.
worker, you slipped him a note. How did
Yeah.
that go from a lived experience to like Lifetime finding out or whoever
Wow.
finding out?
A lot of work. I put it like that. Because of the story, if you go to my website, lauracowenstory.com, you'll see all the other shows that it has aired on. It's been on ID twice.
Okay.
It's been on A&E, the show called Justice by Any Means. I think Malik Yoba was the narrator on that one.
Okay.
So it's been on quite a few shows. This last time, I say sometime in maybe December, just before, no, of the year before, um, I was on a podcast with Channel 19, talking about Aliza Sherman, the nurse
Mm.
that was killed downtown.
Yeah, here locally.
And yeah, and they wanted to know, how were we connected? And I let her know, being an activist and other grassroots organizations like Peace in the Hood, and all of us got together. We would always help the family and protest every year with them down there. And so we were talking about the story on the podcast and the activist involvement. And at the very end, because we had some time left over, Sarah Shookman, she was
Hmm.
the one who had the interview going. And she said, you know, nobody knows about your story. Why don't you tell us about your story real quick? So it was an impromptu. I wasn't ready for it, but I
Right.
kind of broke it down real quick for her. And okay, then it aired. Little Little do you know, you never know who listened to these
Yep.
podcasts. You just don't know. I was contacted on DM on Facebook because they didn't know how to reach me.
Right.
One of the producers, and he had this long email. And sometimes you look at it and read stuff and goes, "Is this spam or is this some kind
Absolutely.
of?" Hmm. And but he explained to me that he heard the podcast. He was very interested in the story. He Googled as soon as it was over,
Oh wow.
and he would like to. He said he would like to make it a movie with Lifetime. And I said, "Whoa!" So I contacted. I waited a day first. You know how you gotta wait. Don't seem too
Not too
jumpy.
eager.
And I contacted him. He was legit. I looked him up too. Read some research. Yeah, they were legit. And I was like, okay. I got a hold of I have a publicist, and she kind of did some more research and digged into it, and we got the contract from them, and we got an attorney to look over everything and signed it. And the next thing I know, boom, it was time.
Okay.
It was movie time. I
Awesome.
don't know how it was, everything was so fast after that, because you had to get together with the writers, you
Hmm.
had to tell the story so many times to different people. Oh my gosh. Then it was time to pick out the actors. They had a list of people who they wanted to play,
So you were a part of that, the whole process.
the whole process.
Okay.
Made a fact, they made me a co-producer.
Okay.
So I was able to, yeah, tweak it and make it, I thought that was an honor. And
Yeah.
it was kind of odd too, because like my publicist, Latasha, was telling me, she said, you know, you usually make a book first and then a
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
You'll be doing a movie and your book coming out later. It's
Yeah. That's what I was like. Did I miss a book? Right.
I
Like I knew
know
about
you
the
missed the
movie.
book. Yeah, you ain't missed it yet. It's coming.
Okay. So, was it painful? I mean, you
Mhm.
was it painful to continue to have to tell that story, or are you like at peace with it and like it was okay because you know the work you're doing now? Like, how was that to
Mhm.
be in that space?
Ooh, Anna, let me tell you, it was okay until they flew us out there, and a couple of scenes they did, the garage scene.
Oh,
Oh my God, girl. Yeah. talking about reliving it. I had to go take aspirins, bufferins, had to lay down for a minute. You know what I
Oh my
mean?
goodness.
Coffee. I had to it was something. I didn't think I was going to go through it because I've been talking about it with different places,
Right.
but it really hit home. It
And to
did.
see
I
it
guess that's
probably
a,
almost like the actual space again, like to see,
Mhm. It was
yeah.
eerie.
And to
It
be in
really was.
California again. It'd been different if you were here in a garage, but
Isn't it?
I
Isn't
think it
that
was just
terrible?
probably a lot.
It was a
So,
lot going on.
so as you tell the story, and I was watching the trailer, and we'll put the trailer attached to this, and definitely your website so people can learn more about you. Um,
Yeah.
why is it important to continue to tell the story? Like, who was this for? Was it for your piece, or was it to help others? I guess is my question.
Yeah, definitely to help others because when I have a lot of speaking engagements, sometimes I do workshops at either with the deltas or churches or different schools, and you always have people to come up to you later. Like one young lady came up to me from a high school, and she goes, I showed all the warning signs on the PowerPoint, everything, and she says, "Wow, I think I'm in that situation." She
Oh
really
wow.
didn't realize it. The verbal abuse, the financial abuse, the whole work. She was going through it, but she thought, that was part of a relationship. That was not, you know what I mean? It's toxic.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't, and she thought because she was slapped around a few times or he loved her. Because first thing
Right.
she did, he tilted her little head, and I said, "Well, you know now. What do you plan on doing about it? Are you going to leave him?" And she goes, "No, I love him." Oh my. So yeah, I got to continue and keep pushing this story because there's so many of our people out there just don't realize that it's not love shouldn't hurt
Right.
for
And I
real.
think even
Love
in
shouldn't
other
hurt.
spaces, people think of abuse as only physical.
Only.
Um,
Oh my
so,
God.
if
Yeah.
he hasn't hit me,
Mm-hmm.
he just was mad or he said some things. And to your point, you brought up verbal abuse, even financial abuse. And I know folks don't even
Mm-hmm.
realize that that
Don't
is a
realize it.
form of it.
It's the form. All
So,
types. You got religious abuse. People who would try to push their religion and tweak it so they'd have control over you. That too. It's all types of forms.
right,
And you really have to educate and teach. That's all you have to do. So I think the audience, I really want people out there to know that there's hope. Don't give up. There's hope out there. Just, remain calm, especially if you have children involved. Oh my gosh, it's hard. It was hard for me, to worry about them, take care of me. It was just me, just be me.
right.
And when you have little ones involved, it just makes it a whole new different thing. It
Hmm.
does.
And to
And I
get
don't
them
know if
out
you,
as well, to be
it gets them
solo.
out as well because they suffered abuse quite a bit, malnutrition, the whole 9 yards. When we got out there, that garage, my stomach, my not my stomach, my son's stomach had extended.
Oh,
His little arm, you can put your finger around his arm. He was so, frail and thin. And the nurse said that was from lack of nutrition, malnutrition,
hmm.
dehydration, everything, starvation, because he would feed you when he wanted to. Some days you wouldn't eat at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
So
so
we
sorry.
went through hell in there. Hmm.
I'm so sorry. How have your children healed? Like, because they lived through it. So, it's one thing for your journey. Are
Yeah, we
they
had
okay?
now I would say, but back then we went to therapy for over 8 years. I mean, different because I moved back home to Cleveland. I didn't want to stay out there anymore. It's too many memories.
Right.
And we went through Applewood, Beechbrook, all type agencies. They had they had therapy, art therapy, animal therapy, everything. I connected with them with everything I could, especially my son, because you know the old saying, a lot of people who are abused become
Mm-hmm.
abusers.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want my son to go through that. I really didn't. No, none of my children, but especially I was worried about him. I was, but yeah, it took many years, even myself, medication too. We had to
Right.
be on medication, but they pulled through, and yeah, I would say, they have their normal quirks, in life,
Yeah.
but I don't think they, yeah. If we hadn't had therapy at all, I don't know where we would be.
Okay.
Basket case. Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned earlier, it was the mosque that connected you to this man. Did that
Mhm.
change your like trust in God or religion, or are you like, hey,
Mhm.
God left me here, that's I'm out, or are you more like God saved me out of
Mhm.
this, just out of curiosity? Like, where
Yeah,
do you still have religion? I guess is my question for you.
I do. And I know God doesn't put any burden on you you can't bear. And I know it must be a reason for what is going on. You might not see it at the time. And, you hear a lot of people when they go through hard tragedies, why, God, why, but it's a reason for everything. And he got us out safely, all of us, even my abuser's children. So
Oh,
all
good.
of us got to go because we could have ended up, it could have been a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been. So I know my faith never changed. If anything, it got stronger
Oh, good.
because I know he really saved us in that garage many times. Yes, he
Okay.
was. He did. He did. Oh my God. Just thinking about it again. Yeah, it does, Shayna. It brings it back. It does.
But I
I
mean,
guess
thank
it
you for
comes on
talking
the
because I didn't want to like bring back anything, understanding
no,
what
no,
you
no.
went through,
I got you. I
but
got you.
also, just out of curiosity because it can sour people, especially, we hear about people that have church
Mm,
hurt. And
mm-hmm.
so,
Perfect.
you know,
Yes.
because you
That's
went
real.
to, yeah. And so I just didn't know if you're like, oh, absolutely, I'll never go to it, because that
Yeah.
broke your trust, but it wasn't necessarily the churches or the mosque fault. I know
Right.
we're running short on time. So, because you're now an advocate, you still work with a lot of folks that are in a lot of different and bad situations here
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Cleveland. It may not always be
Mhm.
abuse. You're talking about like even people that have gone through fires and other traumatic things here.
Mhm.
What would you say for, like, as we wrap folks, well, as we wrap this up, and this will be on for anyone that's going through it,
Right.
once it's on the internet, it's everywhere,
Yeah.
for someone that's, if you could talk to women about their relationships or someone that maybe, or have advice for
Yeah.
families
So,
that know someone in the
mhm.
situation, like what could you share to help them either start to see or
Mm,
things to look for? Because you said like some people are like,
mm,
oh, I didn't realize it. I just thought he was angry after, he
mhm.
drinks too much or, because of work, he was stressed
Exactly.
out. Like, what are those pieces of advice for them?
For families who know someone or loved one in that situation, they want to help. I would say the first thing they should do is be a listener and not a talker. Let that person vent and don't judge them. Don't be judgmental either. I wouldn't have did that if you don't know what you've done, would
Right.
have done in that situation. You just don't know. Some
Right.
people respond differently to, tragedies, trauma, but definitely don't be judgmental and listen and have resources available for because when it's that time to go, they will go. They won't go because you said you need
Right.
to leave. They're going to go on their own terms because a lot of women leave, but they go back again several different times. And that's in the stats. And then I would say to a person who's in that situation, if you hear me, it's not your fault. That person has some type of mental health issues. Your best bet is to hurry up and get out that situation if you can. There's all type of agencies out there now that would willing to help you. Right here in Cleveland, we have the Journey Center for Safety and Healing,
Mhm.
the Rape Crisis Center. So many, and they're free, and they'll come to you and get you. So if you're really serious about leaving, then you should do so because it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse, and it could end up in death.
Okay. And even for you, like, the resource might have been there, but you couldn't have gotten to it
You couldn't have
because
gotten to
you
it.
in the garage, but it was
Hmm.
through your quick thinking
Yeah.
that you could get
And a
with,
postal worker.
yeah, and a
Because some
postal
people don't want
worker.
to get involved. Some be like,
Yeah.
oh, no, I'm not.
I don't know why she in that garage, like, and just
That's
keep it
right.
moving.
I don't know.
I
That
don't know
ain't
what's
my
going on over that
business.
house.
Oh my gosh.
So I
So
think
yeah,
that's
if
a
you
word too, though. Like, the
that's the
idea, see
word,
something, say something.
see something, say something, please. And you don't want to get really deep involved. I understand that some people are scared too of retaliation or whatever,
Hmm.
but let somebody know about the situation because don't leave that person out there. Please give them help.
And then for
Mm,
the woman that's going through this, or the person, because it may not always be a woman, for the person going through this, abuse, I mean, abusive relationships. Where do they start? Because you said sometimes they go back, and is there something that, like, is there a piece of advice that can help the journey, them shortcut that, like, so they don't keep going back 4 times before they realize this is the time?
Yeah.
Any advice or help for them?
Yeah, because I think that's when you really got to go professional. You really do. I mean, some people go, well, I'll leave and just go stay with my cousin or my auntie Mabel. I mean, that's good too, a temporary fix, but sometimes that's not always good too because you're burdening someone else's
Hmm.
situation. You might be even putting them in danger if your abuser is coming for you. Now
Right.
they're all involved. So yeah, it's hard. It really is too. And every situation I've noticed is different. So one person is not going to be the same as the other person. Oh man, I could do a workshop forever on this. And I
And you
have done
probably should.
workshops. Yeah, I've done workshops at CMHA, but they get to be so overwhelming because there's so many people attend. And I'm gonna tell you who really attends, y'all won't believe it or not, is men. Men go through domestic violence
Hmm.
just as much as women.
Right.
People don't realize that,
That's
you
why I said not
know.
women, but everyone that might be going through.
Mhm, mhm. They go through their share. They're scared.
And it's more
Don't you?
secretive because they feel the
More
shame.
secretive. They're ashamed. And nobody's going to believe them.
Right.
I've had guys had where the car key getting scratched, their phone gone through, wallets and everything else. What stalking them at their job and
Now,
see
are
if they
those
get
like,
off
and
phone.
I'll say, are those signs of abuse? Because in the TikTok
Mhm,
sphere, like, do you go through your
mhm.
man's phone? Ha 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 ha. Right.
Yeah.
Like, but to you, to say that, there are women that go through people's phone and they don't think they're doing anything wrong. But,
Mhm.
to you, like you said, that could be even because we don't think about it
Yeah.
as men. I'm going
Mhm.
through his phone to see if
Mhm.
he, but is that a sign of something brewing?
Yeah. It is a sign too. It's almost like a stalking. They're stalking you. They're watching your every move, seeing where you're going, where you're coming, who you're talking to, who you're not talking. It's stalking is a part of DV as well. It sure
Okay.
is. So it's a lot of education. You
Yeah.
guys have to just, um, I would say the Journey Center has a good website. You can go to their website. They have a tab that says Domestic Violence 101. They break it down to you every step and what you should do about it as well. So
Okay.
start educating yourself and learning more about this situation.
So in my
Yeah,
last minute or so, because I know we are taking up too much. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Um,
okay.
what did you wish that we maybe had talked more about, or talk more about the movie that people should go
Mhm.
see, or like what should
Mm.
we know before we let you go that I didn't maybe get to touch on?
Yeah, as far as the movie, I would say definitely um it's not gonna scare you so much. And people, a lot of people go,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
"Oh gosh, I don't want to see that." It's not horror like that, but it is an educational moment that you
Okay.
would, yeah, look at it and maybe even put yourself in a situation. What would you do? Give yourself scenarios, if you will.
Right.
The movie world is different, and people have to understand some parts is embellished, a lot of parts are real. But the point is, they get the point across. And I'm surprised at Lifetime because Lifetime usually is kind of soft and light. They look Christmas things, and but they got
Yeah. Or
hardcore
they
there, like
get they
more.
get hard, but it's more fiction. Like.
You're right, right, more
So to have
fiction.
someone, and I think to your point about, is it scary? Like, for us to be talking, we know that
Mm-hmm.
we know that it ends okay. Like, we know that you get
Right,
free because you just said so, and
right,
we're talking to you
right.
today. So, because I'm the same way. Like, ooh, I don't know, and is she gonna be,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't want that in my spirit, or whatever people
Right,
say. And
right.
so,
I don't want that. Right, they do. They do.
thank you for that,
Exactly.
because it is like, to know that you're here, to know that you're okay,
Mm-hmm.
safe
Mm-hmm.
rather, and your children are safe.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
takes a load off for people that want to watch it. My guest is Laura Cowen from Girl in the Garage. Laura Cowen's story is on Lifetime. It is her story. Definitely, probably, I'll say probably worth a watch. You just watch it. And if you're in one of those situations, find help. And if your family members in it, don't judge. Don't do what I would have did. Girl, you need to leave today. I'm gonna come
Mm-hmm.
get your stuff, because it doesn't always help,
It
from what I
doesn't.
understand. And
Yep.
just be safe and be caring and be kind to people, I guess. Any final words
Exactly.
from you?
God is good
All the
all the
time.
time.
Yes,
And all the time.
God is
God
good.
is
Well,
good.
thank you so much for your time. And
Thank
everyone,
you.
we'll see you next time. Take
I
care.
appreciate you.
Hands in the air. What's going on? Your husband's been arrested for trafficking in illegal firearms. I'm so sorry.
I just shut down the bookstore.
Sister Laura.
Do I know you?
Apologies. I worked with your husband. I just want to see if there's something I can do for you.
That's really kind of you.
I have a suggestion. Family, this is Sister Laura. She and her children will be joining us. Something wrong?
James?
Children tend to lack self-control.
Mama made a mistake.
You had a soft life. I can see why God saw fit to take everything from you. You belong to me now. God has chosen me.
You are evil. You take his words and you twist them. No! I need you to know we're survivors and thrivers. I know hope seems lost, but we're gonna get out.
Girl in the Garage, the Laura Cowen story. Premieres Saturday, January 18th at 8 on Lifetime.